Hey, what's up YouTube land? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Final Fantasy XIII Play Arts Sazh. So let's head to the table and check it out. So here we are, and there he is. Mr. Sazh Katsroy. Just to show you right here, he is number 4, which is the first figure of the second wave, or volume 2, of these Play Arts figures. And here is Sazh, the cool cat. Now Sazh is really a cool character. He's basically the one who basically tries to talk common sense into the other characters. He tries to be rational. He's the first one to kind of hear an idea and ask you if you're crazy. I mean, he's really the most down-to-earth character out of them all. He does have an interesting thing here. He does have a little baby chocobo that actually lives in his afro, which is really funny. Throughout the game, it'll occasionally just kind of pop out and flutter around, and then it'll just burrow right back into his afro, where it stays, which just makes me wonder how much bird poop must be in his hair. My God, that's the only thing I keep thinking about. But anyway, it's still. It's still kind of cute. My one disappointment is that they don't give you a little baby chocobo. I would have loved to have a baby chocobo as one of his accessories, but they didn't give us one, unfortunately. I would like to have had one to have, kind of sitting in his hand or just perched on his top of his afro. But it's okay. But here is Sazh, and much like the other. Oh, and just to go back to him being the guy who talks, tries to talk common sense into people. At one point in the game, he kind of stops practicing what he preaches, and he almost does something drastic. And that's all I'm going to say in case you haven't played the game. I don't want to, I don't want to do any spoilers here. But yeah. But anyway, back to the figure. Like most of the Play Arts figures, he is very wonderfully detailed. The head sculpt, again, is pretty much dead on to the in-game model. Very cool. See the texture here in his fro. He's got a mad fro. Very cool. His costume, again, his jacket here is very, very nicely detailed. Down to the buttons. Little crest here on his arm. Buckles and everything. The holsters for his gun. Very nice. His boots. Very, very cool. Very nicely detailed. Like I said in past reviews, Play Arts, they don't skimp on the detail. They try to make it as accurate to the source material as humanly possible, which is really, really cool. And like the other ones, he does have not as much articulation as the others, but he does have, his head is on a ball joint, so it can go pretty much however you want. You can do exorcist moves and all that. He's got, his arms are interesting though. They didn't put his arms on a ball joint. It's basically on just a regular rotating joint, but if you want to pull his arms out, he actually has this piece right here that actually will come out and fill in that gap, which is actually really kind of cool. It has it on both arms. It's actually kind of a cool little feature. But I don't know why you couldn't just put his shoulder on a ball joint like the rest of them. But anyway, he has that bicep swivel, elbow, wrist swivel. He doesn't have the ab articulation. This is just one solid piece. But he does have a waist joint, hips. You can do whatever you want. Double jointed knees. Swivel here in the calf. His feet can go forward and back, and he does have the pivot here on his toes. So still good amount of articulation. And for accessories, you can get him to stand up here. He has, oh, come on Sazh, don't tip over on me. There we go. For accessories, he has his gun holding hands. And he holds them via a little peg here in his palm. So he has two of those. And here are his guns, which as usual is very nicely detailed. Very cool. And as usual, the hands are very interchangeable. You can just take them, swap them out, plug the new hand in. Need a little elbow grease to get the new hands back in, but you can get them in. Oh, dropped them on his face. Sorry about that, buddy. Just trying to get your hands back in. I just slammed him on his face. There you go. And his guns, you can store the guns in the holsters. There, if you can see here, there's actually a little tab here that's sticking up, and there's a groove right here in the gun, and it just slides right into the groove, like so, and holds the guns in so we can have them holstered, which is very cool. But I want him holding these bad boys, damn it. So you just want to put it right there in the peg in his hand. You have a little port there, you can kind of see right through it. And you just take it and you peg it into his hands, like so. And now he's got his guns. In the game, actually, the two guns can actually like combine and form a collapsible shotgun, which is pretty cool. Once you kind of get them leveled up to a certain point. One thing I'm very happy about, though, that PlayArts omitted the crappy figure stand that the other figures came with. He doesn't have the stand, thank God. And it actually saves space, too, because if you kind of get him out of the way here. Here's Sazh's box. Here is Lightning's box. And that's basically how much room that crappy figure stand took up in the box. So I'm glad that they omitted the figure stand, because not only does it save room, it wasn't worth it anyway, because that figure stand was just a piece of crap. But yes, very awesomely awesome figure. And of course, with the articulation, you can, you know, and the bottom of his jacket here is a soft plastic, so it'll conform, you know, to when you're trying to pose him. He's not the most stable figure of them all, but there we go. But yeah, very awesome, awesome figure. I like him very much. Again, this is the first figure of the second wave, which just was released not that long ago. So I got him off Big Bad Toy Store. You can get them. They're still available. Awesome figures, and like I've said before in past reviews, if you haven't played Final Fantasy XIII, you really need to play it. It's a simply awesome game. You should not go without playing it. So that's pretty much all there is to say about this guy. So there is the Final Fantasy XIII PlayArts Sazh, and this is EmGo. Whoa, wait! Before I sign off, actually, I want to bring her in, and just to let you know that drastic thing he does, he almost does anyway, is because of this one right here. It's because of her. Yeah, I didn't want to leave that out. I almost left it out. I almost forgot, but yeah. The reason he almost gets drastic is because of this one right here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will when you play the game. It's very, very awesome, dramatic scene in the game. Very deep, but alright, now I'm ready to end this video. So, once again, there is the Final Fantasy XIII PlayArts Sazh, and this is EmGo, signing off.